What's up, guys and gals? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another chapter review for Kengan Omega, chapter 314. And I gotta ask the honest question. Did anybody call this? Because I've seen theories about this happening, but not specifically as a way for Luhan to survive this encounter and fake Nico to survive and stuff, right? No. I've seen this theory, but I've never seen it because it sort of contradicts the conversation with Yamagohan beforehand, right? Where he says, the tiger is always dormant. The tiger's sort of like the dumb twin, the dumb child. Not exactly what he said, but basically he doesn't come out. He can't move, he can't use the body sort of idea. It sort of goes against that, not entirely, really, but it's just stated that he's been dormant for a long time. So obviously something in him said, wait a minute. So something went on, and actually this works. This works so well for storytelling, I can't even begin. So here's the thing, is that we got to read this off of really bad screenshots because the official site, of course, is still down, and then you need the keys to activate, and nobody else was able to get it up on the regular scan sites and stuff like that. So some of them a little verbatim, and I might be missing a page or two. But suffice it to say, we're going to go through the chapter, but I just wanted to bring that out right at the get-go. Not that people didn't predict that this was going to happen, that the dragon would switch with the tiger eventually. I just think that nobody called it that was going to happen this chapter, nor that this was going to be Luhan's get out of jail free card. I don't think anybody called that. So anyways, the chapter basically goes as we thought. It was like, okay, so what was that move and stuff like that, and Shen brings it up at the very beginning of the chapter and says, wait a minute, I didn't think the strike that I pulled, and I have a theory about this, but we'll talk about it. I don't think, I thought the strike that I, with the intent to kill was more than you could block or handle. And then Luhan says, well, I'm coming in clutch sort of idea, and then he goes for him again. Meanwhile, it's like, it's not like you're not strong or anything. He's going at him, and he's dodging, and he's doing whatever. Fake Nico is there like, even with the martial arts memories, I can't do anything. I'm such a bitch. And then we move on. And then, he just keeps going. It's like, this sensation feels like shit with a heart. I do not understand Luhan. Is he supposed to be turned on by his... Does he, get off on his... on pain? Is that his thing? Because he's like, I feel like absolute shit right now. Oh, and I just jizzed in my pants. Is that, you know what I mean? Is that what's going on here? Because Luhan sort of, it's like Setsuna was solid. We got what turned on Setsuna and stuff like that. But Luhan's kind of a loose cannon with that. Certain things, it's like, okay, he's just all around. I literally think if we pull out the kink list and go, and we just let, if you took a toilet paper roll, I assume most of you have, I hope you do. You have a bathroom, you have a toilet and stuff, and those people, my wife used to be one of them, where it's just like, normally you take a few ply or whatever like that, and they just fucking grab it and go, rip. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, that's why I need to buy toilet paper every 3 days. You get it. If you've lived with most women, you get it, But the fact of the matter is that you could write every kink down on that, and I swear he checks off all the boxes. You know what I mean? Okay, alright. I still don't really fully understand Luhan, apparently. Maybe he's more multi-4D chess dimensional than I gave him credit for. But anyway, Shen's still like, yeah, no, boom, and kicks him to the curb and slams him, and he's like, yeah, maybe that should have killed him. And then it's like, wait a minute, you blocked that too. But you shouldn't have been able to. So that's twice now. So here's what I kind of like, is that I do like the subverting expectations. Because all we focused on all last week was a red herring. What did Lu Han do that wasn't in the martial arts memories? What did Lu Han do from the Nico style? What did Lu Han do from whatever that is outside of Shen's memories, and how was he able to stop him? Has nothing to do with Lu Han. Lu Han is still, I mean, at this point, probably the only one who could actually defeat him would be Kuroki, and everyone else would lose. Or, well, Shen, obviously. But anybody else other than Kuroki would lose. And that would be that'd be a battle to the death. Like, I'm not pretending that Kuroki's, like, way up here or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, out of everyone that's not Shen, the only one who could possibly defeat Lu Han right now would probably be the Beard. Because I don't see many people arguing that the Beard is still the strongest of the good guys. Bar none. So, you know, but, yeah. The cool thing is that this is actually good writing for a week-to-week manga, especially because we spent a week trying to figure out what the fuck this guy was doing, and Shen is pulling his punches. That is the answer. It's like, yeah, I'm going to kill you with this, and the tiger in the split second went, no. Boom. And that's why he was able to block it, that split second choice, that split second decision, because Shen's trying to figure it out, and he's like, if I know you're right, you should be long dead by now. My martial arts memories do not explain all this, and you're not that great, so what the hell? And then, boom, we see the two pupils, and they start to dilate, they start to switch, and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then, boom, we see in the brain, oh, what's happening? Oh, I see, it's you. And boom, we see a very, you know, just a silhouette of an Oma-like, obviously a connector, the tiger vessel, the tiger himself, his figure, and the other part of the brain is now activated, and boom, what's going on? What happens? It saves the day, but I love this, and I don't care what anybody fucking says. This is actually great writing. Not just good writing, this is great writing, especially for, and the reason it's just good writing normally on a binge watch, I'll give you that. But it's great writing, it's elevated to great writing. And I'm not saying amazing, I'm not saying 9 or 10 out of 10. I'm saying it elevates itself because Sandro knew we're on a weekly schedule. So what did he do? Because I guarantee you, mangaka who know that they have 45 pages write much differently when they know they only have 18 pages. Right? So, definitely you write an ending, quote unquote, to your 18 pages. And you also write an ending to your 45 pages. The best part about this is, he led us on a wild goose chase to then, bam, subvert expectations and say, no, you guys were chasing down the wrong trail. I left those detectives in the dust. He's a mastermind criminal. And he said, no, you guys have been wondering about the tiger this whole time. I know you all love Shen, the community who might hate this series. I know you all love Shen. I know you're dying to see, did the black text box matter? Was it the tiger that killed Mukaku? All this shit. And he said, nah. Let's just swap the personalities. Subverting the expectations, because everyone had drawn it up. Shen was going to go in there. He's everybody's buddy. No one can defeat him. And somehow Lu Han and, fake Nico and stuff are going to get involved. Subverting expectations. Once again, 300 chapters in. And this man says, oh no, Shen's still the villain. We just haven't met him until now. 314 chapters, and we finally actually met our main villain, our antagonist. It's like, that was playing a long fucking game. I mean, the schizophrenia, the bipolar sort of personality disorder thing has been done with villains before. I mean, God's sakes, Inuyasha back here, Bakotsu. No, it wasn't Bakotsu, it was Bonkotsu. I forget which one, but one of them. That was the big thing. A nice healing doctor and then a bloodthirsty murderer, depending on the situation. The moment he saw blood, boom, transform like the Hulk and Hulk out, right? We've seen that. And once again, perfect example there. Marvel. Innocent Bruce Banner turns into a rage monster. You know, we've seen this. This is not new, but to play the long game and to piss off a lot of fans, I'm going to say that again, fans, with, you know, this expectation and stuff like that, you know, to make people think that he, like, wasn't giving a shit anymore or wasn't playing some type of long game. This works. This was just a long 300 chapter con. I really don't know. I can't think. One Piece is over 1,000 chapters, and I don't think a single con lasted 300 fucking chapters. I don't think Oda pulled that off. Naruto was 700. I can't think it. The Itachi thing. When was the Itachi thing really revealed? When we were introduced to Itachi, and when we got revealed, that might be a necker. You know, that might be neck and neck. You might see that because Naruto was 700 chapters. When we were first introduced to Itachi versus when we found out that that was all a lie. I don't know. Was that over 300 chapters? Maybe. Yeah. That might be the longest con. That's a pretty good long con. But my point is that we're comparing one of the best parts of Naruto, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I think that the Itachi thing was awesome. We're comparing that to the Itachi thing. I mean, that's high praise. I'm just saying. The Aizen reveal, once again. Bleach, the big one. Aizen, Sosuke Aizen, arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, right there by Frieza and Shishio, the greatest shonen villain of all time, in the greatest shonen arc of all time, deceived everybody, and I don't think that was this long a game. I'm just saying, that Sandro played a long game, and the foreshadowing was all there for it to happen. We just didn't think it would happen like this. And I know that the naysayers are going to say that it's out of nowhere and it's bad plot armor and blah. No. You just don't like that Sandro got one over on you because you called him a bad author. You know what I mean? Like, I think I already saw on Reddit, the first thing I pulled up on Reddit was, where's that Sandro apology form thing that we all do in the community? Where's the apology form? And I'm like, I don't got to write one. I'm the last person on YouTube who got to write an apology form because I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm here for. So I'm happy with this chapter, as I said. Great writing, because now we want Jackie back. You know what I mean? This is the tiger. We want the dragon. Which is ironic because I don't give a shit about the dragon vessel, and I love my tiger vessel. So, that's a fun game to play. But yeah, so, and Fake Nico notices this right away. There's this one, like, really, like, doped up shot where it's just, like, doom, and he's just like, holy shit, and that's where everyone's saying, okay, this guy has lost all credibility and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, but once again, Blackbeard, if we would stop, see, the problem is, and I will agree with this, in Ashura, and at the first, I would argue, like, 50 chapters of Omega, this guy, Fake Nico, was considered like a Shanks, like a Whitebeard, like a Rocks. I'm just going to keep using the One Piece analogies, okay? He was an Aizen. He was the master manipulator behind everything, okay? Take your pick on what character you want to relate to that, but that's what he was. He was Naraku from Inuyasha. He was whatever. But at the end of the day, he has revealed himself now and everything we know about him to be a Blackbeard. And yet, once again, Blackbeard is a fanned over character. Like, he's fawned over. We love Blackbeard as our villain in One Piece. So why are we so like, once again, supposedly people who dislike Kengan Omega are disliking it for the writing. So you're supposed to not be meatheads about this. Yet you have the meathead mentality when you make your argument over this whole, he should be crapping his pants, he should be shitting his pants. Blackbeard shat his pants against Garp, Sengoku, Aokiji, Shanks, multiple times, Whitebeard, a cancer, heart attack, dying, face gone Whitebeard, and he was still shitting his pants. This man, Magellan, S-Hawk, Blackbeard in almost every, Rayleigh, Blackbeard in every iteration has supposedly, Mr. Top 5, has gone against people that are below him and shit his pants, just like this boy is doing, and he's still a great villain. Now, what's the difference? Once again, is because we're finally shown when real S tiers, when people reach the level of Kuroki Gensai at the end of Ashura, show up, this man is not there. Remember, this man lost. We were told this back in Ashura. This man lost to 4. But since we didn't know the details of that, we were like, 4 must be the greatest martial artist of all time. We upped 4 to make 6 here look like more of a threat. So it's not the fact that Setsuna was able to beat him down and kick his ass, still lose, by the way. It's not the fact that Shen is making him shit bricks, because literally everybody shits bricks around this guy. It's not the fact that, who is he? I'm totally fine with this. I know people want to aura farm and all that stuff or whatever. Is that what we call it, aura farming? We call it aura farming, and he's lost a lot of it. But it's only because the shift has changed. Did no one else listen to Yan? I know everyone loves Yan. I hate fucking Yan, but Yan was right. The peak of the mountain has changed for all our characters. So while this guy was dangerous, back at the end of Ashura, that was the mountaintop. We were at the peak. We've been climbing for 314 chapters an entirely bigger, badder mountain. So the peak isn't the peak anymore. We're long past the peak of the last mountain. Get the fuck over it. It doesn't make him a bad villain. It just makes him more of a Blackbeard. And from his backstory, we know he's always been a Blackbeard. He has never been the strongest. He has never... That's why he plays in the shadows. He's like Blackbeard. He's cunning. He's manipulative. Great qualities for a villain. But he never goes until he's got a sure thing. You know? And that's why he's been doing... That's why he's still alive. That's why he's been doing what he's been doing this whole time. Just saying. So this, while it made a lot of people laugh and made a lot of people unhappy and stuff, I'm like, no, this is par and course for the character. He's been a Blackbeard the whole time. It's just that he was lorded up in the first series, and everyone missed the memo where the peaks have changed. That's all that happened. And if you look back in retrospect, you'll understand why this makes total sense. And this isn't him losing credibility. He's just completely outmatched, like everyone in the verse still currently is. Because I'm the biggest one to say that the Beard is the only one who could actually give him a fight, and the Beard's still gonna lose. And he's gonna lose, like, period. So, you know, the Tiger coming out and saying, I'm not fucking playing around, is gonna make anybody make this face. That's all I'm trying to say. So, I'm defending I hate fake Nico. I fucking hate him. I think, you know, Setsuna should have kicked his ass a little more. I thought we deserved a little more of that. But, you know, it is what it is. So anyways, he comes out almost like a child, trying to figure out his voice, trying to figure out where he is, trying to, you know, but it doesn't take him long. And I was worried that they were going to do that whole trope, like he's more like a childlike version for a long time, like a Janemba or a Majin Buu, and we were going to play that for another 50 chapters or something. No. He gets up, he comes out, and Luhan apparently survived. Setsuna did leave the hospital and stuff like that. Oma came to visit him and realized, like, you idiot. And, like, he came to give him another chance. Setsuna did what I said he was going to do. He appreciated the offer and says, I really, you know, you are a good friend and stuff like that. Like, I'm reading between the lines here on this one, but he's just like, thank you for giving me the chance. Thank you for being a friend. After everything I put you through, you still came and tried to help me. Like, it's like a drug addict appreciating, you know, the handout one last time sort of idea. But he's like, I'm too far gone. You know what? At the end of the day, there's no going back for me. But I also, once again, appreciate that writing. Because that just goes to show you, you know what? Setsuna, I agree. Some shit happened to him and stuff, but at this point, he really can't be redeemed. And I don't think he really deserves to live a normal life after this. He's killed too many people, and this, as he said, this path of carnage, he deserves to die without anybody knowing his name. You know what I mean? He doesn't deserve the honor. You know what I mean? Because he's a man without it, so he doesn't deserve to die with it. I'm very much on board with Setsuna's sort of mindset, his very pessimistic but honestly realistic mindset that, listen, I didn't make one mistake, or two, or three. I made hundreds for like 3 decades, or at least 2. I mean, nothing I do in the world is going to make up for that. And he could try, he could try. But at the end of the day, So I do appreciate that and stuff. So the final page of the chapter is Yan getting a call from Shen. Who's not well, are we going to start calling him just the Tiger? So we want to differentiate or something like that. It seems like the Tiger fought for control in a way, like Shen was losing control. But it seems Shen didn't try to fight back against it. Maybe he gave it up willingly. I don't want to say willingly. There's a lot to discuss there. But he answers the phone, and once again, they're not going to do the big baby bullshit thing that a lot of series do. No. He calls Yan and says, and Yan immediately knows that, like, wait, you're not him. And this is what the worm was probably trying to warn the world and Kengan Association against. He was like, this guy is a walking nuke, and we're the ones who prevent him from being a walking nuke. So Yan's worst fears are realized that maybe the worm was set up as a terrorist organization, yes, and they've done horrible things, but they were set up to make sure that the Tiger never took over, because maybe the Tiger is the problem. Very possible. Remember when we first met Oma? Kinda fucking nuts. So, yeah. He answers the phone and he just says, I know you know who I am right now. I need you to do a job for the dragon. So obviously, Shen's still there but dormant, but he's sharing a brain still, so something's going on. So maybe right before the switch, he said, oh, one thing I want you to do for me or something like that. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the one they're going to fight in the Kengan match is going to be the Tiger now, with no holds bars. That will be a much more interesting fight, I would argue, even though it's the same body, than the Dragon or Shen Jackie, the one we know. This chapter has so much, this video is probably going to run I could talk about this for another 20 minutes. There is so much to theorize about. There's so much potential here to go through. So I don't know how anybody can hate on this chapter. If you're focused on the fake Nico losing aura, bitch please. He has lost aura. I'm just gonna because bitch please. Man has been losing aura and was never a huge fucking story. He was never in the fucking story. Like, what are you worried about? This ain't like the beard losing aura. So what the fuck do you care? This isn't a character who was Mr. Badass. I mean, we saw him as Mr. Badass because he was the guy in the shadows. He was the master manipulator. It didn't mean he was all that. They literally said, 4 killed you. Nico killed you. How are you alive? So we already knew the dude wasn't invincible. Nico beat his ass. So I'm just saying, like really, get over the fact that now his peaks, the new peaks. It's been 600 chapters of a series, guys. I'm sorry the power scaling happens, but you're gonna have to kind of get the fuck over it. You know, like, I tell you what, I'll do you one better. Take your favorite shonen. Pick any shonen. Any battle shonen. Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Toriko, Shogeki no Soma. I'll take any of them. Rave, Fairy Tail. Pick them all. Now tell me, in the first saga of a long-running shogun, not the first arc, but the first saga, the overarching villain of that saga, couldn't be beat. They used darkness magic, or they knew their name or their true Zanpakuto, or they had Logia devil fruits, or what have you. Now, by the end of the series, where are they at? They still invincible? They still on top? They still in your top 5? Fuck no. No, they're not. So, just saying. And no, that's not a Dragon Ball pun, even though I brought up Dragon Ball. I'm just, once again, putting it out there. Not that you can't revive old villains. Golden Frieza, well now Black Frieza, Crocodile showing his merit and stuff like that. And not that you can't introduce these powerhouses that are still powerhouses later, but I would argue that, once again, the East Blue Saga's greatest villain was Arlong, and he ain't doing shit to Thriller Bark Luffy and gang, let alone fucking New World. So I'm just, you know, perfect example right there. And is Raditz really gonna go Super Saiyan God Blue? Or Ultra Instinct at this point, or whatever? You know, like, seriously, power scaling happens. And it dwarfs things. And you need to accept that when certain villains, while they were terrifying at the time, they eventually get overshadowed when you introduce and you keep continuing the story and you introduce new elements. It doesn't make them badly written. And at this point, once again, he is still, especially with these memories, he is still a massive threat, not to Shen, not to the tiger or the dragon, but he is still a massive threat, and it's going to be a high difficulty fight to any of the ones who are going to fight him, like Agito or Ryan or Oma. That is not going to be a boom, you're done. It's just not. So, you can argue that showcasing that he was shitting his pants is a bad idea, but I would argue it just showcases that one of our main villains, our rival villains for multiple characters, Setsuna, Oma, Ryan, Agito, all these people who that's their goal, the person they want to defeat. I don't know why I threw Ryan in there, but anyways, you get my point. All of our main characters, they want to defeat this guy, and he's the pillar they want to overcome and finally defeat. They, you know, like, it's totally fine. Like, I just don't get it. Anyways, yeah. So, half-hour review. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because I could have made this bitch 50 fucking minutes. Just because, honestly, there's so much else to talk about. Not just the poor opinion I know that's going to get about that I've already seen, actually, about the Tiger Nico stuff. Which is really sad, calling him Tiger, because, no, he's fake Nico. I'm trying to focus on the fact that he's fake Nico. He doesn't even deserve the Nico name either, but what else am I going to call him? So, but yeah, but that's got nothing to do with the fact that he shit his pants over the tiger coming out. The tiger would make anybody shit their pants, you know what I mean? Like, that dude is screaming danger, you know what I mean? So, it's like Ichigo with Kenpachi the first time in Bleach. I didn't think less of Ichigo for shitting his pants when Kenpachi showed up and went spiritual pressure, boom, and everyone fell to the floor. I didn't think less of my main character. I went, oh my fuck, the dude's dangerous. So maybe it was handled poorly because of handling? I don't know. Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Finally, I mean, it's going to be a little late because it's probably not going to come out till really, really late, like Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but still, it's here. It's out. So like, comment, and subscribe as always, and we'll see you guys back here next time. As I said, I just really like this chapter. I think it was great writing, and I'm really stoked because completely, I did not see this coming. I didn't see any of this coming, and I'm really stoked for 315. I really am. Are you guys? I hope you are. So, anyways, that's it for me. Have a good one, everyone, and see you next time.